It's time. We back with... So it starts off with Mark in space, flying towards Earth to beat up some villains. He and Oliver were fighting so much random battles, they were getting tired of it. Mark came home, took a shower, got hit with some flashbacks, and couldn't even get to eat. He had to suit right up again. I was pissed for him, so he went to get Oliver. Hey man, Furnace is back, and you got to go stop him. Nah, let someone else do it. But just a few months ago, you were begging me to fight him. A few months ago, it was January. I gave up on my New Year's resolution, bro. Give me my game. Mark lands down on some, hey, I'm here to help. They didn't call you here. I did. Your war cost so many lives. But I'm here to tell you that's a good thing. He was talking so crazy, I was thinking the villain was about to be tough.
Need to die.
Yo, who the fuck is this nigga?
I ain't gonna lie, I had to Google, bro. And turns out, he is tough. He grabs Mark and throws him into a rock, trying to bite off his head, getting kicked and even knocked back. But it looks like Dinosaurus got that default attack. When in doubt, use them chompers, which only convinced Mark to take off the weights, landing the right, the left, and getting sent flying to skip into a boulder. Looking up, seeing Dinosaurus holding up that rock, acting like Mark is about to be hurt by it. Whole time, Mark been like these ever since fighting Conquest.
What's his name? They start with an N. The none of them, nigga.
He not scared of nobody. Seeing the rock get launched and breaks it to pieces. Looking around, and Dinosaurus think he the Hulk, but he not doing no type of damage. And the fight ended when Mark knocked him all the way into a building. Bro woke up looking like Miley Cyrus's dad, getting held up by the neck, saying that it's not his fault. He just randomly switches from human to dinosaur and can't do anything about it. But when Mark was about to end him, the Guardians show up, so Mark leaves. We see these two construction workers down in the sewers and find out that the Sequids are taking over people's bodies to build an army. And while all this was going on, this woman named Universa is stealing the power from the nuclear power plant. The amount of effort the villains be putting in, you would think this a 9 to 5 with guaranteed pay. Mark came flying in, fist balled up extra tight for the right to launch her across the room, but she picked up her staff and flew back up. My people are dying without this energy.
But you're killing these people to get it. How does that make sense?
Hold up, he not wrong. But still, blasting him into the control panel, Eve tried to go out there, even taking out the dual blades. But her powers were too weakened. She looking at Universa, ready to blast her, so confused. What do I do next? That's all I had. Until Mark steps in front of the blast, taking the staff out her hands, but gets electrocuted in the process. And she's talking about some...
You fool!
Only the chosen may touch the staff, bending down to grab it, and getting met with a right hook that knocks her out immediately. But Mark's shift wasn't done. Cecil came by and told Mark that they need his help fighting the Sequids. I know Mark is sick. He's got to do all this fighting while Oliver is just picking out his costume, talking about, nah, this fit fine. All this family does is change the color. This the same thing. All he did was step back. Y'all would hate to see me. I'd be the first superhero to wear 3 capes. So Mark went over to help the Guardians fight the Sequids, trying to keep them contained within a barrier. But the barrier was breaking, which left Mark in a dangerous situation. He flew to grab the boss, but the barrier was on the verge of collapse. So now he had to either wait for Bulletproof to bring the device to stop him, or take out the human being controlled. Bulletproof knew what time it was. He was pressing the gas, coming through like a truck. But Mark already made his decision. At least now we're absolutely positive the job is done. And this next scene is why Cecil pisses me off. Everything about him. His hairline starts at the back of his head, but he still has 2 hair follicles sticking out. He needs to go. For some reason, he decided to keep Conquest locked up in this bunker, knowing damn well he could just easily break out, and is watching him escape, but has the nerve, the audacity to be like, "What do you mean?" We see a young Nolan standing in front of Argo's statue while his dad is calmly staring him down, and his mom lands with finesse. No words exchanged. They dashed in, the mom got sent off screen, and dad stomped on his own son. I was like, damn.
What did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Blocking the punch, gave 2 of his own, elbow check, and Nolan produced a nice breeze before getting blocked. The dad was not impressed, punching his son in the chest. He's holding onto his pecs with pain in his eyes, turning his head to dodge the attack. Getting slashed ruined the all-white fit. He was appalled, getting his head grabbed and a knee to the face. And to make it worse, he got choked out by his own father, revealing that today is the day of Nolan's adulthood, the day he becomes a real Viltrumite, which is why they're beating him senseless to test his strength. I guess, bro. Punch, go away, shoulder check, easy dodges into the gut check. All of a sudden, he can box, delivering an elbow, seeing his mom come in quick to break his ribs. He's holding onto his stomach while his parents are already loading up the combos. And we not talking that nonsense they selling at McDonald's. Ooh, sour. They using him as a punching bag, straight practice into the headbutt. It's a thing where it's like, yo, there's gotta be some form of abuse. He's standing there like Gohan on some I can't give up. But his mom rushes in, right, left, backhand, right, and chokes him. He had to kick the dirt to get her off and knocked some sense into her. You doing way too much, mama. And his dad agreed, just slapped her out the way. Oh no. Getting tackled, pushed, missed 2, and got his hand stabbed and his neck grabbed. The amount of times Viltrumites got their hands around necks is concerning. His mom palms his face to concrete and starts stomping on him. I'm watching this like, bro, you know what? He probably just forgot to do the dishes this morning. She was beating him up so bad, his father had to step in to tell her to chill. So now he was ready. And wait, them dreads tough. For once the animators were in the booth cooking up when it came to black characters. But apparently it's only for him. I'm seeing 2 more of my fellow people, my fellow brethren in this room. But those high tops are egregious. So what are we doing? The Viltrumites start dropping like flies. And it turns out that there's this biological weapon called the Scourge virus that is taking them out. And it ended up taking out so many Viltrumites, they couldn't believe it. How many are dead? Trust me, you don't want to know, nigga. I said how many? Billions, sir. Billions. And Nolan explains that one of the reasons he went to Earth was to actually repopulate and make more Viltrumites. They go to meet Thetis, and Nolan finds out that Thetis is the one who the Viltrumites call the betrayer, for obvious reasons. And Nolan says that he won't join them in their battle. He's only here to help them gather the weapons they need to fight against the Viltrumites. And their first stop is to go get the Infinity Ray, the weapon used by Space Racer. But this man Nolan was truly evil. He left Space Racer buried alive for 100 years just to make sure the Infinity Ray wouldn't be destroyed. And when he went to grab it, it flew towards Space Racer's body, and it turns out that man was not dead. For 100 years, he was stuck under them rocks, dancing to the sound of space insects walking by, and almost blasting Nolan's head off. So they started panicking and rushing to take the weapon before they get boomed. But Space Racer got the most timid trigger finger of all time. Them 100 years buried under rocks have him moving so stiff, he flies back, points the weapon, and didn't even fire. He about 2 kilometers away, he got mad time and space. he ain't about it for real. The second I was here, man, Alan's gonna have to figure out a way to respawn. But they end up having a conversation with Space Racer, explaining to him that Nolan is a changed man and is actually helping them fight back against the Viltrumite Empire. So Space Racer decides to go meet Thetis to find out more about this whole debacle. Anyways, they collect some bugs, go over to meet the Geldarians, who tell him to go find Tech Jacket, who's on Earth. Then they try to find Battle Beast, who is not home, and as we all know, is probably beating up people as we speak. And finally, they go to pick up some Ragnars, cold-blooded creatures strong enough to kill Viltrumites. And in case you're confused, let me explain. There's a disc blocking the sun, which is keeping the Ragnars frozen so they can't move. And the plan was to slowly move the disc to warm up the planet a little to make it easier to locate the Ragnars. But here comes the captain of the ship. He heard that and was like, I bet. Fire the proton missiles. Wait, what? Which leads to the Ragnars coming out the ice and attacking Nolan and Alan. They barely made it back to the ship and hit that.
Oh my god, I almost died. I almost died. I was so scared.
So the capturing of the Ragnars was gonna have to wait. Nolan knew that his people were some pieces of shit, but he still felt bad about betraying them. And Alan really gave him a hug. I expected Nolan to launch him, but nah. Progress. We love to see it. Thetis was still asking Nolan for his help in their fight, especially since even Space Racer decided to help them with their cause. Even showing him the lab, Nolan had to take a step back.
Do my eyes deceive me?
Is that what I think it is?
The Scourge virus.
Saying that he was the one who unleashed the virus that first time and killed billions of Viltrumites. Nolan had to add another neck grab to the list. And even I had to agree. Billions, bro.
And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too. And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
Nolan decides to let him go and made Thetis promise that he will only use it if the situation absolutely requires it. Walking off, saying that he's going to get Mark. We see Conquest making his way to the throne, talking about some sire. On your knees, dumbass. My fault. Sire, I have failed you. I lost. I understand the consequences. So kill me if you want. Thragg hit that.
No, I don't think I will.
You still have work to do. And this is what I'm talking about. The fur coat, the crispy lineup. The barber pulled out all the instruments in the book, made sure to keep his family safe, give the big boss the perfect haircut, and told bro in the back to keep it pushing. Made him sit with the nigga that's only been a barber for 2 weeks. Titan goes to meet with Machine Head, and Machine Head tells him Mr. Liu is still alive and is coming after Titan, trying to convince him to join the Order for Protection. But he ain't want none to do with that, and went to the park with his family and had his security walking around. But they were damn near useless. Magnatak was up there hiding in a tree. He think we can't see him. Had that stealth attribute equipped. Dropping down, flexing the powers, and trying to go after Titan's family. But he didn't know who he was up against. Once he got a hold of him and he failed to kill Titan's family, it was over. He was trying his best to do some damage, but it wasn't enough. Back at home, Mark opens the door. Cecil wants to see you. Yo bro, you good? Going over to see Cecil, who says that Mark made the right decision, getting rid of that guy that was being controlled. But that's something that Cecil would do. Invincible shouldn't do it. I'm telling you, every time Cecil is on my screen, he be pissing me off. Everybody gotta be a law-abiding citizen. But you? Even when Mark saw Sinclair, that evil scientist, and got mad, telling him to go back to his lab, Cecil was like, What is it? You wanted to kill him, right? You gotta chill. What do you mean? Mark and Eve get a call for help, but Oliver wanted to go take care of it. So he made his way over, and it turns out that Titan made the call. Where's Invincible? It don't matter. Whatever he can do, I could do better. Slow your roll there, buddy. They go to the location, walk in and find Liu and his henchmen just chilling. And he ulted immediately. Oliver was shaking out his tights. Next thing you know, he's getting tossed through buildings and calling Eve. Oliver? Yo, help me! Ah, help! They've got me fighting that dragon guy. Please call Mark. Problem was, Mark was on the news. The Flaxians were back, so he was dealing with them. Kinda. To defeat the Flaxians though, Rex and Monster Girl went through the portal to destroy the emitter that was preventing the Flaxians from aging. And once that was accomplished, Rex was getting ahead of himself, saying that they might as well all come through the portal and destroy the Flaxians for good. But once they seen Mark flying through, the motivational music cut right off. Bro started crawling and shot at his own people to make sure no Viltrumite passes through the portal, leaving Rex and Monster Girl stuck in another world. But we not done. Oliver was still fighting Liu. Hey yo, is bro hiding? He went from
No way I'm fighting him. He's like 100.
to this? Talking about some Invincible body checked the dragon onto the road, and they both go out there to fight the dragon. Pass them over to Oliver for the dunk. Hit the drift and launch them back in the air to get pummeled through a building. It's crazy to think that while all this was going on, Liu's body is just asleep on the sidewalk, getting slammed to the ground before the henchman picks his little body off the dirty floor to make their escape. Mark saw Titan on the ground. Yo, Invincible, how you doing? And started beating him senseless. And like any real Viltrumite, the hand went on the neck expeditiously. Oliver had to get Mark to stop, standing up and flying away. Titan felt defeated, so he took Machine Head up on his proposal to join the Order, just to find out that Liu also joined. So essentially, they both got played. And to end it off, we learn that Eve is pregnant, which explains why her powers have been acting up.